Hey guys, okay, we got cut off in the last video, so we'll have to go quick here, see if we can make it through to the end of the James Bond tutorial. So we're going to pick it up where we left off from the first video, and we're going to go into the melody B section. Okay, I'll play it through once just so you can get a sense of it, and then we'll break it down. Okay, so, and I'll play it nice and slow. Okay guys, so that's the melody B section. Now it's the trickiest section, but if we break it down into bits, it's not too bad at all. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, and in this video guys, we're kind of focusing on the right hand, so hopefully you can see it. We're focusing more on the right hand than the left hand. If you want a better look at the left hand, what it's doing, just watch the other video. I've got a whole set of, I think it's 7 little videos that break down the left hand for the James Bond theme. Okay, so yeah, back to the right hand and melody B section here. We start off with a little arpeggio, which is just an E minor chord. You're plucking the 4th string and the 3rd string, like that. So you're playing an E note with your left hand on the 4th string, which would be 2nd fret. And then after that, you're going to do a little slide on the 2nd string. So the way I finger that with my right hand is just P-I for the arpeggio, and then I use the M finger, the middle finger, for the slide from the 4th fret to the 3rd fret. Okay, so that's how it begins. And you can actually have your M finger prepared in advance. So if you plant all your fingers down, P-I-M, then the M finger can be ready to play its slide right after the arpeggio, because you go P-I, and then you have M to do your slide. So that would be the best way to play this this little passage, right? Having that M finger ready to play. Okay, after that we have a little pluck hammer pull off, or pluck hammer slide is what I like to call this little bit. So it's like that. Okay, it all occurs on the 3rd string, and it's just you're plucking the 3rd string, and then you're hammering down on the A note, which is 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then you're sliding that A note up to the B note, which is the 4th fret. So that's that. Okay, I'll put those two things together, we get this, right? And then next is this is probably the trickiest bit. This requires a little preparation of the left hand. So what you want to do after that slide, you want to get your 3rd finger placed down onto the 4th fret right away, okay? And you're going to leave it there, and then you're going to pluck the 3rd string open. You're going to do a little hammer on and pull off, and then you're going to pluck the 4th string, which is going to be that F sharp note, okay? So it would sound like this. That's extremely slow motion, right? But you're going to go, right? And so how you do that with the right hand is you're going to pluck with P, the open string, or sorry, not P, you're going to pluck with M, the open string, then you're going to do the hammer on pull off using the I finger, and then you're going to finally finish with that P finger that's been prepared, waiting, planting on the 4th string to the F sharp, okay? So it's a lot of information guys, but we just do that really slow. It's right. That time I took my P finger off the 4th string. We don't want to do that. Just keep it there. Have it ready to play. So like that. Okay. One more time in slow-mo. Okay. So that's probably the trickiest bit. After that, we have a simple little E minor chord that we play. We're going to use P and I to pluck that E minor chord, and then we're just slide along from the B note to the C sharp along the 5th string. Okay, so it's like this. And with the slide, of course, you don't have to pluck. You just pluck the E minor chord, and then you continue to keep that pressure down on the B and slide it up to the C sharp on the 4th fret. And you may have noticed by now that there's a lot of action that occurs on the 4th fret. So I like to tell my students, like, just keep that in mind. As guitarists, we're always looking for ways to help memorize pieces of music, and knowing that there's a lot of action on the 4th fret can really just simplify your memorization process, okay? So yeah, we slide the E minor chord, or part of the E minor chord, over to the 4th fret, okay? And that completes basically the first cycle of this melody B section. So we do the whole thing over again, and then instead of playing this chord, we play a little B7 chord there, right? So I'll play that for you in its entirety. Then it repeats. With a different ending, right? So that's it. And again, when you're playing that B7 chord for what we call the second ending of this B section, you can just use P and I again to play that chord. So that's another thing that guitarists love to do, or at least I do. I think a lot of guitarists like to do this, is to simplify your fingering. So if I do P-I here for that E minor chord, why not use the same fingering over here for the B7 chord, right? Again, it simplifies memorization, and practically it works really well. Okay? Alright guys, let's blast on to the next section. So the melody C section sounds like this. I'll give you a run through. Okay, so I know some of you guys, the younger guys, might have smaller fingers, and that might be a little tricky using the pinky like that in a kind of a stretched out position for the left hand. Hopefully you guys can see that. But what you can do as an alternative is you can just use the 3rd finger and slide it back and forth to get the right notes. So that would look like this. Do it in slow-mo. Right? So that could be an optional left-hand fingering. Another thing guitarists love to do is customize their fingering for the left hand. But since this video is about right hand primarily, what you're going to do for the right hand there, guys, is just you're going to use P and I to pluck the 6th string and the 4th string, okay? That creates the first chord, like that, kind of an E, well, not E minor, but it's an E octave chord. And then after that, I like to bring the thumb down to the 4th string to play the melody. So thumb is really a strong digit, so if we can use it, if we can repeat it, then we'll get a nice strong melody, okay? So that's how that section works.